Relocating to France. No matter what your country of origin, start by being honest about why you are going. France cares a great deal about categories. That is, what will you do? Maybe you got a job offer, or are planning to work for yourself, are retired or retiring soon, a student, joining family already in France. Maybe you just want to be a cab driver in France. Forget about it. Unless becoming a taxi driver in France as a foreign national is extremely difficult unless you already have European Union citizenship or permanent residency. France, like most EU countries, heavily regulates professions involving public transport, especially those involving safety and licensing. Taxi companies are not looking to sponsor foreigners. So let's talk about real possibilities. First principle. In France, the right to live and the right to work are separate permissions. Are you getting a visitor visa? If you will be working in France, you do not use the visitor visa. What to do instead depends on how you will be working. Let's look at the pathways to residency in France. Pathway 1, retiree or financially independent resident. You'll need a long-stay visitor visa, often VLSTS. It's suitable for retirees, people with investment income, and those who can support themselves without working in France. Requirements. Proof of sufficient financial means. French authorities rarely state a single number, but they expect income substantially above the French minimum wage. Comprehensive private health insurance for at least the first year. Evidence of accommodation in France. When you apply for your visa in hopes of buying a home in France, you'll need to prove you already have accommodation in France. This sounds nearly impossible, but the book will show you how. A signed declaration agreeing not to engage in any paid work in France. There is also a shorter, non-renewable, visitor visa sometimes used by second home owners. It allows you to stay long-term but does not lead to residency. Pathway 2, employed by a French employer. If you want a standard salary job in France, you need a long-stay work visa. Common routes. A. Normal work contract. A French employer sponsors a work authorization. Once approved, the worker applies for the long-stay visa, VLSTS salary or a related category, and, after arrival, transitions to a residence permit. This includes your home employer transferring you to a branch in France. B. Talent categories. France maintains a multi-year permit for highly skilled workers, founders, researchers, artists, and similar profiles. Pathway 3, self-employed, freelancer, or small business. You'll need the VLSTS entrepreneur/profession libéral visa to work independently in France, either freelancing or running your own small business. Key requirements. A viable business plan demonstrating realistic revenue. Ability to support yourself financially during the startup phase. Registration of your French business activity, often as a micro-entrepreneur at the beginning. Pathway 4, remote worker for a foreign employer. France does not currently offer a dedicated digital nomad visa. Two realistic approaches exist. 1. Declare yourself as self-employed and invoice your employer, or clients, as a contractor, paying French taxes and social contributions. 2. Attempt to live in France on a visitor visa while working remotely for a foreign employer. This is often done informally yet is not legally secure because visitor status prohibits work. Pathway 5, students and researchers. A. Students. A VLSTS student visa is used for academic programs longer than 3 months. It is validated shortly after arrival and serves as a residence permit during the first year. Multi-year student cards are available for longer programs. B. Researchers. Highly qualified researchers with a hosting agreement from a French institution can obtain a long-stay researcher visa, which then leads to a multi-year researcher residence card. Pathway 6, family routes. Several possibilities. UK citizens married to EU nationals who are moving to France usually fall under EU free movement rules rather than French national immigration rules. In such cases, no long-stay national visa is required. Instead, the British spouse applies for residence as the family member of an EU citizen after arrival. Joining a non-EU spouse or partner who is already legally resident in France follows family reunification rules, which depend on that person's status and income. Special case, those who lived in France before Brexit. People legally resident in France before the end of 2020 could obtain withdrawal agreement residence rights. These are not available for new movers, they only apply to those who had already established residence before the transition period ended. Practical checklist before moving. Determine the correct category: visitor, worker, talent, self-employed, student, or family. Review the eligibility criteria for your chosen category using France's official visa portal and residence permit guidance. Prepare documents. A financial proof, insurance, accommodation, job contracts, business plans, proof of enrollment, passport photos, and translations where required. After arrival. Settle in. Do your planning. Make calendar entries. Validate your VLSTS within 3 months, register with the health system when eligible, and handle tax and social security registration for work or business activities. You may also need to exchange your driving license. Long-term planning. After about 5 years of continuous legal residence, many residents become eligible for long-term EU residence or, with additional criteria met, French citizenship. See Chapter 42 in the book, Essential Checklist Dates in France.